This is the Sabbath School lesson for the third quarter, 2021.
Lesson 10 from the series Rest in Christ is titled Sabbath Rest. It's ready for teaching on September 4, and I'm Percy Harrold. Thursday, September 2, the sign that we belong to God. During World War II, England was expecting an imminent invasion by the German army. Preparations were made to defend the island home as much as possible. Extra fortifications were installed along the beaches. Roads, of course, would offer the enemy the fastest routes to their objectives, and consequently blockades were installed at strategic points. English authorities then did something strange. In order to slow down and confuse the enemy, railway signs were removed and roadsides were taken down. Engraved markers on stone or on buildings couldn't be taken down, but they were covered with cement. Signs are significant. They serve as markers and guides. In the pre-GPS era, we all had maps and watched for signs. What is the Sabbath a sign of? Read Exodus 31, verses 13, 16 and 17. In what ways can we apply what is said here to ourselves today, people who believe in the perpetuity of God's law? Exodus 31, verse 13. Speak also to the children of Israel, saying, Surely my Sabbaths you shall keep, for it is a sign between me and you throughout your generations, that you may know that I am the Lord who sanctifies you. And beginning at verse 16, Therefore the children of Israel shall keep the Sabbath, to observe the Sabbath throughout their generations, as a perpetual covenant. It is a sign between me and the children of Israel forever. For in 6 days the Lord made the heavens and the earth, and on the seventh day he rested and was refreshed. Though these words were spoken specifically for ancient Israel, we who are Christ's are Abraham's seed and heirs according to the promise, Galatians 3:29 tells us, and the Sabbath today remains a sign between God and his people. Exodus 31 points out that the Sabbath is a sign of God's perpetual or eternal covenant, as we read about in verses 16 and 17. This sign helps us to know our Creator, our Redeemer, and our Sanctifier. It's like a flag that gets raised every 7 days and functions as something to help us remember, since we tend to forget. God's Sabbath is a constant reminder of our origins, our liberation, our destiny, and our responsibility to the outcasts and the marginalized. In fact, the Sabbath is so important that instead of our coming to it, it comes to us every week and without exception, a perpetual reminder of who we are, who made us, what he is doing for us, and what he will ultimately do for us when he makes new heavens and a new earth. A holy God invites his human covenant partners to consider the rhythm that governs what really counts, the saving relationship between the Creator and Redeemer and his wayward creation. Every week, and with the force and authority that comes from God, we are commanded to enter into the rest that we have been freely given in Christ Jesus, or, as it says in Hebrews 12:2, the author and finisher of our faith, who for the joy that was set before him endured the cross. So to finish today, how can you learn to have a deeper experience with God during the Sabbath? This lesson was read by Dr. Percy Harrold for Christian Services for the Blind. It's supported by the Sabbath School Department and Hope Channel Australia, and is rebroadcast by Christian Record Services and through podcasts at It Is Written in the United States, Hope Channel Germany, and through Apple iTunes and SoundCloud. Remember, God is always faithful.